Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Welcome back to the show. I am your host. My name is Q. We have some stuff to talk about today. We have another record to talk about, to review and discuss. And this one is by the artist that goes by the name of Manny Zumar. Now, for this review today, this is going to be a little light work review because, surprise, surprise, I actually interviewed this person this time. So uh, I don't want to talk about the project too much because when the interview drops, he's gonna break down every single song. But I just want to give you my take on the project and my own opinion on it, and my own interpretation of some of the music on there as well. So uh, the project is called Unwanted Nostalgia, and even when you look at the artwork is a silhouette, which I'm assuming is Manny himself, and there is a broken heart. He's looking at this big thing of a broken heart, this big image of a broken heart. The colors are dark. It's like different colors of blue, I'll say. Those colors on the spectrum. Those are the colors that you see. So just right from the jump, you get a dark undertone of what we're going to be getting into with the music. So, by the way, this is a weekday. Now, I just got off vacation from work, but when I do my reviews, I have a little drink for y'all, right? Look at me. I'm fancy. I got the little cute lime. I did this just for the camera. I don't do this when I'm at home. I don't do this for real. But peep this. I'm into my little fitness and health and stuff. So I try to, try to keep the blood sugar low, try to, I lift weights and I do cardiovascular activities as well. I do all sorts of stuff, you know what I mean? And so in my spare time, I was on my phone and I looked up what's the healthiest hard liquor? Because that's all I got here. I'm not much of a wine drinker. I just collect different bottles of alcohol. It's more so a bottle collection than I actually consume. So I was looking at, what's up, and I got dark tequila like the anejos, the respados. And I saw that like anejo, I think Raspado too, if I'm saying that correctly, things like that. So what I have today is Patron, and the thing is about these dark tequilas, I don't like them like that. Like I hit it one time, I'm like, nah, this ain't the stuff I want to be sipping. But I got some lime, and they say to drink it with lime. I guess it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna take a sip for y'all. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Anyway, um, let's talk about unwanted nostalgia now. What is nostalgia? It's a term that we use. That's a term that's just in common vocabulary, I would imagine. Let me go to my notebook because I actually have notes on this stuff. So, nostalgia, it is a wistful longing desire to return in thought or in fact to a former time in one's life, home or homeland, family or friends. So, and that's from the dictionary.com app on my phone. Um, so just from the definition alone, from the title, he's looking at something, this broken heart, but he doesn't want to look at it. It's this unwanted time in his life that he may want to go back to. Maybe there's some things that he wanted to change in his life, or something like that. So this is an interesting record. It's Manny's debut record, and let's get into it. I'm talking about everything except the music. So the first song is uh, is mysterious, okay, and it's more of an intro. The title is called "What Are You Gonna Do?" And you hear like some keys. It's a very suspenseful song, and you hear a voice of a woman, and that's the most prominent voice, the woman's voice. And you hear some other voices too, a bunch of mysterious voices of people who you never, who you don't know who they are. And they're talking about love. They're talking about this. They're talking about that. Sounds like they're all on the phone talking to Manny himself. And so that's what you get into. That's the first track. That's the intro. So it builds up suspense to the second song. And what's nice about this album is all the songs flow into each other pretty well. They flow into each other. It's, it's a bunch of different songs in one song, the way that they flow into each other. So we have that mystery, this suspenseful music that we first hear on the first track. And then we go to the first full length song, which is called Scared to Fall for You. Now, in Scared to Fall for You, it is once again dark, which is a word that you'll hear a lot throughout this because this whole record is mainly dark. Scared to Fall for You is an upbeat. It has like a synth 80s pop type vibe to it and sound to it, but it's still dark. It's still scary. It's still got you wondering what are we really doing with this album, because I want to get up and move, but at the same time, when I listen to the lyrics, when I listen to the undertone of this song, that it doesn't make you want to move anymore. It's like, okay, am I supposed to be happy or sad? I don't know. Am I supposed to make up my mind? Am I happy or sad? Happy or sad? So you have an upbeat song with a serious message. So he's talking about in this song, Scared to Fall for You. It sounds like, in my opinion, he has this person that he really likes, or let's just make it personal. You have this person that you really like, and they just have it all. They do it all for you. They have everything that you're looking for in a mate. And then all of a sudden you get these feelings of insecurity. It's like, I don't know if I'm doing everything that I can for you, but you're doing everything you can for me. Like, and I have these, hold on. Let me wrap this thought up because I want to use my words carefully. When I say doing everything you can for me, in the sense of you have it all, not that they're really giving their all to you, but what they're giving you, you're taking, and it's just everything. It's like, oh, this is my heart, take it as you will, but you don't know if you are doing enough to satisfy them, if they're actually happy in this relationship that you have. So from what I'm taking from it is, this is scary. Like, I'm falling for you for real, for real. And I'm afraid that the way I'm observing things, that there's an imbalance. That there's an imbalance between the way I feel and the way you feel, and I don't want to fall anymore. You know, he said in this song, some key lyrics, falling feels wrong just like a sin. Because he doesn't want to get any much deeper in love. I don't know if it's love. I don't know if it's love. He doesn't want to get much deeper than he already is. So, that's what he's talking about. Like, he's kind of on cloud nine, but, he's on like cloud 8.75 because that 0.25 is still lingering. That's the unsure part. So we then go on to the third song. So far we just have a dark mystery in the music so far, dark and mysterious. We go to the third song, which is one of my favorites, and that song is called Dreams. That song features a man named Ethan Ledley. And what I forgot to mention for the song Scared to Fall for You, Ethan Ledley did the drums on this song. So if you're really digging the vibe, shout out to Ethan Ledley then. If you're really digging the drums, the beat pattern on that thing, whatever your producer and drum vernacular is, shout out to Ethan, whatever for your props there. Now, on the track of Ethan, let's keep talking about Ethan because he's featured on this third song, Dreams. So we went from an upbeat song. Although dark, it was still upbeat, synth pop vibe to Dreams, which is slower, which is quieter. And it's still dark. Once again, there goes that word again. It's a dark song, and it seems like there was a change of pace here. There was a huge change of pace because it's kind of dreamy. You know, the song's called Dreams, but the actual production is dreamy. And he's talking about, you know, it's been so long, I could barely let go. It's been so long, I could feel your shadow. Um, it, it, there's a lot of sadness in this song, if you ask me. And you have musically, when I listen to this, Ethan comes in on the second verse. And now they have two different voices, Manny and Ethan. Like their voices are different. They're different. They're different. They're different people. They're different. But the transition from Manny's voice to Ethan's voice is very smooth that I didn't even tell the difference on the first few listens. I actually reached out to Manny himself and I said, hey, you know, what is Ethan's contribution? Because you can hear that it sounds like there's lyrics on top of lyrics or voices on top of voices. I'm thinking Manny did the main part that you can hear, and Ethan did kind of like the higher pitched alto falsetto type voice that you hear. On the contrary, you hear Ethan's voice on the second verse. And I did not distinguish that on my first few listens. Ethan comes in so smooth. He rides on that. He rides on this song. It's like this song was made for him. I really appreciated Ethan's voice. Shout out to you, Ethan. We have to connect. You know, holler at the Cool Hand podcast, and we'll set it up. Ethan, shout out to you and your contribution to this record. So that's Dreams there. It seems like this person is a short-term memory at this point. Like he's dreaming of this person. You know, I can feel your shadow. What do you mean by that? You know, hey, but anyway, let's go on to an interlude, which is called Sing Me a Song. And like I said, we're moving through these songs pretty quickly because we get to listen to Manny himself talk about the record and the intent of certain songs if he chooses to. So let's go on to Sing Me a Song, which is it's an acoustic song. It's like an acoustic lullaby, if you will. He's talking about in this song, I'll just touch on it very briefly. He's looking for love. He's not looking for, you know, he's not looking to get played. He's not looking to play around, but he's looking for love. So, and it's short. It's under 2 minutes. It's an interlude. And you hear the guitar. It's an acoustic song, acoustic guitar, blah, blah, blah. So that brings us into a good transition to the next song, another one of my favorites, which is Call Me a Doctor. Now, what do you discern from that title? He's feeling sick. And there's a total of 9 songs, I believe, on this project. But this is the closure song. This is the song where I feel his thoughts about this relationship end. And then the rest of the album is like the actual nostalgia. So I feel like everything from the first song, or even from the intro up into this part, this is the 5th track, I believe, was living in the present. That was like present day feelings and things like that. But this is like the closure where he realizes I'm not with this person anymore. So somewhere along the line they broke up. Maybe it was in the third song, with Dreams. But these two people aren't together, and this story, this subject of the record, they're not together. he is not with this person. So anyway, let me continue on. Um, it's the realization that everything is over with Call Me a Doctor. He's saying, call me a doctor because I'm feeling sick. It seems like the person he was with is no longer is no longer single, but they're just not dating him. So he has these feelings of, sickness, that nausea, like, oh man, you moved on. Oh, it's you moved on, and I'm not really feeling it because I still have these feelings for you. But he wants closure, and he can't even talk to this person because things must have ended badly. Things must have ended badly, because he says, because we're not even friends. I can't even call you. I can't even check up on you because we're not even kicking it like that. We're not even cool no more. We're not even cool. We're not even cool. We're not even cool. We're not even cool. You might even feel defeated in these moments. Like, it's like, call me a doctor because I'm feeling sick to my stomach when with this. So you have to stomach that. Have you ever been in a situation where, let's even reduce it. Let's reduce from dating to just liking someone. You can like someone a lot, and you didn't have the fortitude to step to that person, to you know get to know them and all that other stuff that you have to do with dating, and you didn't even get to that point. Next thing you know, they're dating somebody, and you're like, oh, like I liked you. Or maybe you were friend zoned. Friend zoned it, that's not a word. Maybe you were friend zoned, and then the person who friend zoned you ends up dating somebody, and you're like, you might feel a little sick, you might feel a little nauseous, you might feel a little sick, you might feel a little nauseous. But when I talk about closure, I'm putting on Carmex right now. I'm putting on Carmex. If anybody listens to the audio version of this, I'm putting on Carmex. I'm not editing that part out. I want to get this video out sooner than later, so we're gonna have to sacrifice some post production there. Anyway, when you think about, man, I lost my train of thought because I jumped from something else. Anyway, like I said, we get to listen to Manny himself talk about the full project. When you talk about closure, he says, "I wrote this song just to try and let go. If you happen to hear this, just let me know." It he's really sick. Like, he's really sick. Cuz he says, if you happen to hear this, just let me know. And they're not even talking. So, it's like that song is like him saying, this is how I feel, blah blah blah. I hope we could be friends again, even though we're not. Hopefully I'm not just destroying this review and the interpretation of this song, but I'm starting to feel insecure with the words I'm saying, so I'm going to move on. And the next song is called Where Would I Go? Now, I hear with Where Would I Go, this is probably the saddest song and the saddest sounding song, but when you take your head out of the story of this song and listen to Manny's voice, this is one of my favorite songs that I hear his voice on, because it's quiet. It's like a piano ballad, and I hear a lot of regret in this song on some woulda, coulda, shoulda type stuff. I hear some regret, like, if he can have a do-over, he would take it. He says, where would I go? There's no one home. He has nowhere to go. He has no place to turn. It's kind of like he's trapped in his own feelings. And he talked about he wasn't friends with the ex in the last song, and he can't even get your proper closure. So maybe he didn't get that closure, and now, she didn't hear the song. He said, if you hear this, let me know. And now it's like he's just thinking about, he's dwelling on this, on this on this past relationship that turned sour that might have been his fault, because I sensed regret. I sensed regret, things that I've could have done differently, things that I should have did. Like I said, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But one of the pluses from this song is you get to hear Manny hit one of them high notes, one of them, something like that. You heard the record, so you tell me. But let's move on to the title song, which is called. Okay. Now in this song, Unwanted Nostalgia, I hear a continued regret. He continues to regret things. And the one thing I'm going to mention about this song when it comes to his voice, this song reminded me of Sufjan Stevens. If you ever listen to Sufjan Stevens, the way that he does his vocals, I always thought like let's take the song from Carrie and Lowell, Death with Dignity. Take that song for example. Just that's a popular song. But for some reason, like, I got, just with his voice, not the actual sound of the song, but just what Manny did with his voice reminded me of Sufjan Stevens. Shout out to him. I hear the continued regret in these lyrics. He talks about, I can't turn back the time now, but I'm singing about you. And when I say that continued regret, listen to what he's saying. He said, "If I was in love, can someone hand me the cure?" So at this point of the song, it's like, I was in this relationship. I keep thinking about it all the time. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I could have done some things better. But you know what? I kind of wish that this never even happened. Like, not that the experience didn't happen, but the things that caused these feelings happen. I'm sure I'm sure you guys have been there before. Like, that comes with the game, honestly. When you think about it, it comes with the game. Like, you don't marry the first person. Not everybody marries the first person they date. That doesn't happen. You have to go through some heartbreak. You might have went through that heartbreak. I got my little chump heart broken in 8th grade. That's a fact. I was weak. I was weak. Um yeah, I liked this girl in 8th grade. Broke my little heart. I liked this girl in 5th grade. Broke my little heart. Yeah, yeah, 5th grade girl. She broke my heart. But you got to go through those things. You got to go through those things. Makes you strong. Makes you big ape. But it puts you through some things. We're humans and we have feelings. So if something happens to us and that's unfavorable, or, that we feel like we can't take, yeah, we're going to feel sad. And you may think, oh, I never want to fall in love again. You might be in your feelings, you know, and, those feelings subside, of course. But right now in this song, these feelings, we're really feeling it. We're really feeling them. We're really feeling them lyrics. So, uh, from this vibe, from this vibe, who am I? From this song, I got, you never know what you got till it's gone. That was the theme that I got from this song. You never know what you got till it's gone. Um, Maybe even a little bit of desperation, because he says, "Why don't you show me what you want from me?" So, if you lose something good and you don't know how to get it back, it's like, yo, just tell me what you want from me. Tell me what I could have done better. You know, it, that's rough. That's rough, and I'm sure you feel that if you're listening to this. You want something so bad that you're just like, tell me what you want from me, and I'll do it. I'll do it. Take me back. Take me back. But let's move on to the next song. Now, this is the final full song, and then we get the outro. But let's see how this project gets summed up with Imprisoned. And that's featuring Crowded Places. Now, on the Cool Hand podcast, some things just have to be done. Now, many people who know me know that I know Crowded Places. And he's one of my friends in real life. And I speak favorably of his music. but I don't want there to be a biased sensed whenever I talk about crowded places. So I'm not going to say anything positive about crowded places verse and his contribution while I talk about this song, just to show some fairness because I'm not biased. Now, with Imprisoned, this is an explosive song. And actually, this is the song that attracted me to Manny's music. And I'll tell you what, it was, speaking of which, I saw Crowded Places Instagram story, and he reposted something that Manny posted himself. And I hear like this voice, this, pleasant voice in this little snippet. And it's like, do you believe in love? 'Cause I know that I don't. And it sounded so good. And like that was like the majority of the snippet. But I'm like, whoa. Like, this sounds good. And it built up some hype and anticipation. So of course I followed the young man. And fast forward to today, I'm covering his music, and I'm interviewing him. So this was the song that attracted me to the young boy, Manny Zumar. So that's just a side note. Um, Continuing on about the actual song, um, the title, Imprisoned. He's imprisoned to the thought of this girl, and just those lyrics when he's talking about, do you believe in love? Because I know that I don't. It kind of shows that there's an not hard feelings, but a little bit of anger. He could be mad at himself. He could be mad at the situation that happened. But there's definitely times, speaking from personal experiences, that I was actually mad at myself. I blamed myself for things that happened in my life, not just relationships, but in my life. And I'm like, it's just mad about it, like, and it looks like he went to an extreme with this song. Do you believe in love? Because I know that I don't. Okay, I'm sure you love your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess in that, in terms of a romantic bond, he's pretty messed up about that. So he's talking about, I don't believe in love. That I ain't with that no more. So the explosiveness, there's kind of like an old school retro vibe to it, but at the same time it's hip hop, it's upbeat, and it's explosive. Like I said, you heard the song, because if you're listening to this review, you heard the song already. Yeah, I got to reiterate that. And if that's not the case, please go listen. It's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, it's even on YouTube, by the way. The album's on YouTube. You can listen to it on your YouTube Premium because you didn't want to listen to ads, right? Um so Crowded Places comes in, and as I said, I have nothing good to say about Crowded Places. He comes in with some horrible bars. He and I'm not going to spend too much time on Crowded Places because we're dissing him today to show fairness. Um, he didn't come correct on this verse. He didn't kill it. He didn't sound great. He didn't ride the beat. Um, I hate the fact that he's on this project. He added absolutely nothing to the song. He didn't seem effortless on his verse. Just talking about his verse right now just, makes me want to yell. I might just go crazy talking about it. So, he did a bad job. I never want to hear his voice again. Um, yeah. Yeah, so don't keep up the good work. Don't keep up the good work, Crowded Places. Don't continue feeding us bars that we like to hear. Don't continue. You get where I'm going. Anyway, I really liked Manny's voice on here. I really thought this was a good song to sum up the album, to put a cap on things musically, because we still have the outro to talk about. But Listen to Imprisoned, and I'm sure you'll dig what I'm saying. Now we'll go to the outro. You hear a mysterious voice once again of a young woman, and although imprisoned was, he's talking about he's imprisoned to the thought of, this unwanted nostalgia, and imprisoned of the thought of you, of this person that he misses. The closure is in the outro, and there's a soothing, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a calming. I'll say calming more so than soothing. There's a calming, um, a calming sound of the production. Excuse me, I can't, describe the sounds too much, but you hear the mysterious woman voice, and she's talking about some things that kind of conclude things off, and she just talk about, things don't work out all the time. You work on yourself, love yourself, things like that. Just some general advice to get past the situation. And that's how the album ends. That's how it ends, with her soothing words, her calming words, her good advice. And overall, this was Manny's first project. I think it's a pretty solid project when it comes to the story, how all of the songs flow together. As I mentioned, uh, like 20 minutes ago, I like the vividness that we get. Like, I was able to talk about it. I was able to relate personal experiences. It took me to a place now, some of my past experiences were from when I was in fifth grade, as I mentioned, eighth grade, some things in high school. I'm 27 and married now. So, but it took me back to a place where I was like feeling defeated and sad, and I was, crying over, not literally crying. I ain't never shed no tears in no fifth grade or no eighth grade, none of that. But it took me back to some of those feelings that I had. Even you have some personal experiences when I talk about the mysterious woman voice. Um, I like how personal experiences were incorporated from outside people, not Manny himself, but you have this mysterious voice girl, talking about a person, what I assume is a personal experience, and you get to hear someone else talk about love and their experience with love. So I appreciated that too. I'm looking forward, and this is just the beginning. This was, like I said, is his debut album, so I'm looking forward to seeing uh, what Manny's gonna come up with next. How and with every project, everybody improves, right? So he's just gonna keep getting better. He's gonna keep using his voice. He's gonna keep working with the instruments. Gonna keep producing. He produced this whole track, like the whole record. He had some co-production, Crowded Places a little bit on Imprisoned. You had Ethan Ledley on drums and vocals, but I'm looking forward to what Manny has coming up next. And but for now, we're gonna enjoy Unwanted Nostalgia. So great job, my bro. Keep up the good work. Keep your foot on their necks. And that's all I got. So go check it out. Manny Zumar, Imprisoned, debut LP. This is the Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Easy.